Blessed good night, everyone. Blessed good night, everyone. Blessed good night, everyone. And we are live. We are live. We are live. Actually, Facebook is telling me 2 minutes 36, but we are live. We are live and we are on time. My name is Lucia Cabrera Jones. I am the co-founder and CEO of Women on Media and Education Network, and this is our She Can campaign. Let's talk entrepreneurship session that we have every single Tuesday and Thursday of the month of August at 7 p.m. from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. and every Sunday of the month of August from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And I want you to start getting inside. Let us give Facebook some time to actually notify you that we are live. You are not late, but I want you to start to hop in. I want to start telling me where are you tuning from live right now. And if you are catching this replay, I want you hashtag replay and tell us where are you tuning from. Welcome to She Can Campaign. Let's talk entrepreneurship segment. And I see some of you already tuning in, but I want you to tell me where are you tuning from. My name is Lucia Cabrera Jones. I am with you from beautiful Trinidad and Tobago. I am co-founder and CEO of Women on Media and Education Network. And if you haven't done so as yet, I want you to start to share this live broadcast because you don't want to miss the treats that we have for you today. I am seeing you there. You don't have to be shy, right? Just send your greetings, say good evening, good night, good morning, wherever part of the world you are tuning in right now with us, and tell us where are you tuning from. We want your hearts, we want your thumbs up. Come on, because let me tell you something. If you don't share this light right now, live like right now, you are going to be preventing someone from these streets. And we have Mrs. Bola Gopal. Good evening, all. Thank you so much for being with us. I mean, Mrs. Gopal is a faithful viewer of this segment of Chican campaign. Let's talk entrepreneurship, and we are so delighted to have you with us tonight. Again, we're looking forward to your interaction because we definitely have a treat for you. And we also have tuning in with us our very own women team. And I don't want to take no more time from you. Remember, you could actually follow us as well on Instagram. You could follow us on Instagram. And if you are an entrepreneur, a female entrepreneur, we want to hear from you. Actually, if you have been in this platform with us already, if you have been one of the interviewed person, we want to hear from you. So fill up that form and let us get in touch with you. Good night, Candice Alexander. Nice to be here again, of course. Come on, guys, share this live and without any more delay, because I'm overexcited tonight. God have really blessed us tonight with an awesome guest. I mean, let me be honest with you. I have known this awesome lady for a very short period of time. Actually, she was very much recommended to our platform um by my good friend Mr. Stalin, and which I really thank God for this. He handpicked this awesome woman. This woman is full of energy. This woman is full of advice. This woman is full of experience. And she is an excellent and awesome entrepreneur. You will have a treat tonight because we have with us Miss Nicole Pichery. Welcome to Chican Campaign. Let's talk entrepreneurship, Miss Nicole.
Thank you, Lucia, for having me. It is wonderful to be here. And one of my favorite topics, entrepreneurship, empowering women. I love it. Thank you.
Oh, we thank you. We thank you for taking your time, to actually say yes to this. And I have been talking too much already. We want to get into the matters. Actually, to start breaking the ice. Tell us about you, Nicole.
Wow.
Who is Nicole Pichery?
Nicole Pichery is first a wife, a mother, a friend, a sister, an employee. That is Nicole Pichery. A person who loves people, who love empowering women. That is me in a nutshell.
So you actually mentioned an employee. Oh, but you are also an entrepreneur. So that's open our segments in the very right notes,
That's right.
because we have had other persons who have come in the platform, women sharing with us in that same situation. How it is, Nicole, for you to actually have a job, and how that was this transition into becoming this successful entrepreneur that you are today. Tell us a little bit how you could actually manage it, the challenges, the obstacles that you have to overcome to actually have this great success.
Lucia, it wasn't easy. I remembered I got into entrepreneurship many years ago in the early 2000. I started with a small business called Intangible Treasures. And you asked, our chatting make me reflect and go back. I thought it started only a few years ago, but it actually started all the way back in the early 2000s when I started a Christian bookshop. So the entrepreneur bug bit me all those years ago. And I remember taking a suitcase, going to Port of Spain, packing my suitcase with the books that I purchased from another Christian bookstore, and pulling that suitcase through Port of Spain, lifting it, putting it in the trunk of the cars, pulling it through Cuba to get it to my bookstore. So I think the entrepreneur bug really bit me so many years ago. But entrepreneurship is not an easy journey for anyone. You have many misses, you have many attempts. Some things fail, some things succeed from and that bookstore was called Intangible Treasures. And I remembered I started it back in that year, probably 2004, 5. And within 6 months, I had to close it. I started in a big way. I rented a storefront. I started to purchase my books. I got all the equipment for the store, all the shelving, everything. So I went into it expensive, a lot of money, a big investment. But within 6 months, it failed because I was working. I was working at the time. I had to get an employee to stay in the store, so I had to pay. So it was making very little money, but it didn't succeed, and I had to close it. So the entrepreneur bug bit me back then, and I recognized the challenges then. I then tried to transition to my home, but by that time we were planning to leave the country. So that was the first challenge and the first reality check I got with starting a business.
That is amazing because you did not give up.
No,
So I mean, you're talking about these challenges, and I could reflect about the many testimonies that we had. You also say, Nicole, that you are a mother, you are a wife. How this actually how you actually manage, because I want to believe that all these challenges would have also somehow touch your family. How you could actually manage to be Nicole, who also have a job, Nicole the wife, Nicole the mom, and Nicole the entrepreneur. Tell us how you actually get over this.
that really takes a balancing act, and you need the support of your family. At the time when I started Intangible Treasures, it was my kids were small and I was working full time, and you had to manage those because it became very difficult. You had to go to the store in the morning, organize, and then get to your job. And in those days I was traveling, so managing the time was difficult, and then managing your family. When you get home in the evening, you have small kids to take care of, you have homework to do, you have dinner to prepare. So juggling those responsibilities became difficult. But as the kids grew up and I jumped from one business to another, it became easier. It became easier now with my new business, Elevate and Proof. It is easier because everybody, they're all grown, right? They're all grown. So the time is really mine to help to grow my business more or less.
So you have talked about the challenges, Nicole, and I certainly believe that so many female entrepreneurs that are watching us right now, and some of other female entrepreneurs who are going to actually catch this replay have gone through these challenges as well. So you talk about the challenges. What are what did you put in place? How do you actually overcome? I want you to tell us, give us that strategy, give us that planning, give us that solution. What you actually did, what you actually did to overcome these obstacles.
Well,
How you did it? How
the,
you
the,
did it?
the challenges were real, Lucia. They were real. And the first thing you had to make a decision: is this going to be a lucrative venture? Should I continue? You have to look at the pros and the cons, and you have to decide if the pros outweigh the cons, you continue. If the cons outweigh the pros, then you have a tough decision to make, to close or to end that venture because it just wasn't being as profitable as you hoped it would be. However, that doesn't mean that you stop, right? That doesn't mean that you stop. You continue. You continue looking for different avenues where you could apply your strengths, apply your passion, use your passion to grow another business. So you continue. You put things on a hold, but that doesn't mean you stop, right? You look for other avenues where you can continue. For me, that meant when I traveled, when we left the country, that meant studying. And then coming back here, I was unemployed for 2 years. And in that period, that is when I decided this is not going to make any sense. After I sent out my application, nothing happened. I said, Nicole, it's time to step out of your box. It's time to start working on building your business. So sometimes you have the challenges that cause you to stop, but then also you have those challenges that cause you or becomes an opportunity to begin again, right? And that is what I did. I took that opportunity.
And that is awesome. Actually, I will say it this way, like you take a stumbling block and turn it into a stepping stone.
That's
And
right.
this is something that we have to learn how to do. And as you say, you have to make a decision at some point, to stop or to continue. It's like a crossroad.
That's
So
right.
what was your biggest motto to actually continue and don't give up?
Just
What
start.
was your bigger motto?
Just start. I think that at one time I heard someone say, you will always be in the middle. There will always be people who know more than you and people who don't know as much as you. And I took that and I said, okay, I know a few things and I'm going to use what I have, what I know to help other people. One of the things I always loved doing this year was helping women. I always enjoy doing that. And, sometimes you do things from when you were very, very young and you don't realize that this becomes your purpose. So this becomes a passion. And it's only in retrospect, they say hindsight is 2020. It's only in retrospect you realize that, listen, I have been doing this for a very long time. My aunt will tell me, but you helped your cousin. My friends will tell you helped me. And I'm saying, but I really was doing this a long time. So I said, you know what? Use what you have, what you know to help others. And I believe in that. Address a need.
Yes. And this is what entrepreneurship is really about. Help someone to solve a problem.
That's right.
Entrepreneurs are problem solvers.
That's right.
Entrepreneurs have the capacity to actually identify a pain point and offer a solution to it.
That's right.
So, I mean, Nicole, uh, I've been talking to you, and even behind stage, you have shared so much, with me. So tell us a little bit about what are your strong points that you consider have actually gets you to the place of success that you are today, because coming to the end you have to stay right there, because coming to the end Nicole is going to tell us what exactly she's doing now with her awesome organization. But you say something that it really makes sense. Take what you know, because there's always people who will know more, people will know less.
That's
Take
right.
what you know and use it. What are the strongest points of Nicole Pichery? What Nicole Pichery could actually give to this bunch amazing group of women?
I think for me, a lot of people tell me I'm patient, right? And I think I'm a catalyst. I like to animate people to get up and do things, to pursue their passion, go after their purpose. That is me. I don't care how small it is, right? Once I hear you say, I can do this and I'm really good at it, I am getting behind you and I'm going to encourage you. So I could inspire, I can encourage, I can influence. Those are my strengths. I love doing that. I like supporting people and telling them, look, you can do it. I love helping them set goals, identify what their strengths are. That is Nicole. You start talking about purpose, you start talking about passion, and I am right there to support you. It doesn't have to have a cost to it. I will do it free of charge, pro bono, because I have a passion for it and I will do it all night long. As long as you need my support, I will be there to give you that support. You can call me any day, anytime, because I'm excited about it. I do get excited about seeing people achieve their purpose and seeing people achieve their goals. That's Nicole.
So Nicole is actually a catalyst. I pin that. Nicole is a catalyst. And well, I'm a chemical engineer and I perfectly understand what a catalyst is. It's something that actually accelerates a
That's right.
process, accelerate a reaction. So when you use a catalyst, you actually accelerate something from happening. So I want to believe, as you say, that passion that is in you actually accelerates because a lot of things that we have identified, and that is one of the purpose of this campaign to unbury, unbury the buried talents, Nicole. So right now, what have you observed in this world of entrepreneurship? I want you to talk about the world of entrepreneurship at large, but I also want you to target the female world of entrepreneurship because we understand that uh, having a business is a challenge for itself. But
Yes,
being a female, wanted to open your own business, wanted to be your own boss in that entrepreneurship language is an addition to that challenge. If
yes,
you have to encounter a woman right now and that person is in that crossroad mindset, as I call it, what will be your biggest encouragement? How will you capitalize that person?
first of all, I want to talk about the world of entrepreneurship. I mean, having traveled a little bit, not extensively, but I have lived abroad. And some of the things that I've recognized is that you don't have to have a huge business to be successful. I have seen people use small spaces, small businesses, and they are making money and they are happy at what they're doing. Right? Sometimes we have a tendency to look at the most successful people and we want to get there really quickly, just as fast as they did. But I used to see people in small businesses and they are getting sales, they have their customers, and they're growing the business and they are happy with that. And I've seen that in several different places. I mean, I remember being in the UK in Norwich, and I saw this lady flipping hamburgers like if it were doubles, right? People were just around this very small shop, and she was just filling the paper with the hamburgers, and she was handing it, and people buying like two and three. It just reminded me of standing by the doubles vendor purchasing doubles, and I said, "Well, look at that." And I mean, I've seen people take simple ideas and create businesses. So the world of entrepreneurship, I think it's only limited to your imagination. It's only limited. As women in entrepreneurship, only recently my son had me watching a show with African women, and I realized something, I recognized something that women were sometimes the first entrepreneurs in their families, and that hit me so powerfully. And even reading the scriptures, you realize that women, she would purchase a field, right? And she would go out and she would till it till in the morning. And those things really struck me powerfully recently and realized that, wait a minute, we were doing this thing a very long time ago. A very long time ago, and we were using our knowledge and our skills to support our families and to help our communities, right? So I would tell women, if you are stuck, find a coach, find someone who can work with you help you set the goals towards your goal attainment or your goal achievement. Take it in small steps. Try to identify what it is you really love, find out where you go wrong, and move forward from there. That would be my advice to a woman who becomes stuck.
Awesome. Ladies, we are getting some real awesome and amazing nuggets right here. And I am going to tell you right now that if you have not shared yet this life, you are actually preventing one woman or many women to actually get this nugget from Miss Nicole Pichery. I mean, she have an amazing experience and background when it comes to entrepreneurship and working with actually female entrepreneurs. So share this light. You still have time. Do not deprive a sister to actually come and hear this amazing advice. And you say that well. Invest in a coach. And I believe that this is one of the shortcomings of entrepreneurs at large. We want to figure out things in our own. Yes, that is part of the entrepreneurship spirit, but sometimes we really need a coach. Now, I want you to tell me, Nicole, with this situation with the pandemic and what's not, how you actually see the world and the tendency of females actually stepping out and jumping into this large world of entrepreneurship.
I think we have many advantages now in terms of what COVID has done for us. I mean, COVID in itself was devastating, but that being said, a lot of opportunities to digitize the businesses became a reality, right? As we were talking earlier, some businesses really stopped and we got stuck, but some businesses, I mean, they took off because of the ability to now sell their products online, build their brand online, grow, and they were able now to reach those people in all parts of the world in all parts of the world. So I think COVID, in essence, even though there was a negative impact, there was some positives that came out for entrepreneurs and businesses. And I am seeing that happening right here in Trinidad and Tobago before when people weren't paying any attention to entrepreneurs in any big way. I'm seeing now a lot of institutions, a lot of banks, a lot of businesses now creating programs, Kariri, JMMB, Netco, right? Even though Netco was there for a long time, I took my first business loan with Netco. But now a lot of institutions are stepping up to the plate and supporting entrepreneurs and helping them grow not only locally but regionally and internationally. And that is what I would take away from this whole 2.5 years that COVID has done for us here, entrepreneurs. I think here in Trinidad, it's becoming a lot more serious. It's taken more seriously. I mean, when we started with Mastermind, it was about 4 years ago. We were just starting up as a young group. But now, and we had this great idea about how we would support entrepreneurs. But you're seeing now more organizations are coming in and, supporting and helping entrepreneurs. So I like that. That's what came out for me from COVID.
And when I'm so glad that this platform actually tied to that vision from the biggest institutions, to actually support the work of our entrepreneurs.
That's right.
A lot of things happen and a lot of more things can be done if we actually unbury our potential. So I know you have interacted a lot with females and with female entrepreneurs, and I know that you actually help a lot of them to actually launch out into this world of entrepreneurship. You have talked about your own challenges and how you overcome them. But coming from now, a point of being sort of a coach to others, what are the challenges that most females entrepreneurs coming to you, what are those challenges that they are facing, the most common challenges, and what could have been basically the advice that you could give them?
I think some of us, one, have too many ideas. Too many ideas. They have some big ideas. Some of them could be capital intensive, some labor intensive, and they want to start big. That's one of the things that I encounter with entrepreneurs that I talk to. some of them overcoming the fear and the doubt, you know, that imposter syndrome, also thinking, I can't do this. I don't have the ability. I mean, I had to overcome imposter syndrome myself, right? And stepping out in faith and believing I can do this and using my knowledge. A lot of women entrepreneurs, they start their business, they can do, like, they can bake, or they can make a pepper sauce, or they can make, they can sew really well. I've seen a guy take fabric and using pillows and open a nice store with just pillows. Who would think? Pillows. Why can't we do the same thing? Why can't we use our skills that we have? Many, many years ago, people who were good seamstress, that's what they did. They used their skills to grow a business. At the time, so this is what I could do, and I could do it well. But now we can take it a step further, take it higher, push ourselves to really build a brand instead of, I could just sew, but build a brand, and so that people will take us seriously, right? Not just in my little kitchen or my living room, right? But really step out in faith and grow that business.
And we was even talking about that, Nicole, because Nicole was saying that she was a kind of more of a background person, and but Nicole, I'm not seeing that in this interview. I mean, you what you said before behind stage and what I am seeing now is two total completely different. I'm really really glad because we was talking we was talking about that you call you well name it the imposter syndrome, right? And why would you want to hide that talent? Why are you going to tell to yourself that no, you cannot do it? You want to be hidden, you want to be behind the scene? No. And we was talking about that.
Hmm.
If you want to be an entrepreneur in this digital era, you have to step forward.
Yes.
You have to step forward, and you will say that fear. But Nicole, let me just even go a little further. Why do you think that females entrepreneurs are fearful to actually come out to the front? Give me your views on that.
That is a good question. I think encouragement, empowerment, those are some things that I find that women don't get. Some people may talk down or laugh at them when they share their ideas. They may be discouraged, right? Those are really, really real issues that women face when they're thinking about entrepreneurship. Um, I think another thing is that they don't know how to begin, where to start, right? And that can be a hindrance in really taking what you know, what you can already do well, and starting a business and building a brand. And that's very, very real, very real.
And I
And
fully
that's why it's important, I think, for you to start joining business communities where you can get that help, that support, and that encouragement that you need, where people can tell you, yes, you can do it. I remember going to my first meeting and meeting other entrepreneurs and was so encouraged by what they were doing.
and this is one of the objective of this platform. This we decided, because we fully endorse what you say. We agree with that. We seen that. We discovered that. We identify that. Hence, she can campaign. That
Yes,
is why women dedicate a whole month of August just to encourage each other. Your testimony right now could be speaking to someone that is in that fearful position right now, that they don't even knew that they could have just approached a coach. Some people don't even know what a coach is, you know. And this is a platform that I think that God have orchestrated this so well, because I normally look at all our replay, and so much have been shared, and the testimonies are so congruent. It's like we all facing the same monster, just to say it
that's right.
somehow.
Yes,
So why not facing it together?
that's right.
Why not um root out for each other? And this is what this platform is all
Yes.
about that empowerment and that about that upliftment. So Nicole, we have been talking about what you kind of did in the past, what is your passion, and what do you think and how you seen actually the world of female entrepreneurship. So let me ask you this now, and this is a very provoking topic. How do you see the work of our female entrepreneurs supported or cautioned by the dominant main areas on entrepreneurship? How you see that interaction happening?
With just repeat the question, Lucia. One.
Okay. What I want to get from you is your opinion, and we are dealing with the world of female entrepreneurship, right? But I always say this platform is we welcome men. We have two
Yes.
powerful interviews
Yes.
for males.
Yes.
How you actually see the support of men, right, of the males on the entrepreneurial, more dominant areas towards female. How you see it? Are you seeing that support? How you actually see this entrepreneurial relationship between the females and the males,
I think
especially
that
the most dominated areas by
yes, in
males?
male dominated areas. I mean, this is where I think men can become real coaches. This is where men can really help a woman grow, especially in those male dominated areas. Where they can get that support and encouragement, the women will sow. It builds their confidence. I mean, entrepreneurial women who go into entrepreneurship, they're already confident. I think they are brave and they are confident to decide I am going to do this. But having that masculine support, having that male support, give helps you become even more confident that okay, I have the support and I could step forward. I remember listening to Reverend Angela Williams on Saturday. I went to another female entrepreneur who was, building a brand, and Reverend Angela Williams is talking about the support and encouragement she got from her husband to pursue, the call that she got on her life. And that kind of support helped her to become the best that she can be at what she did, answering God's call on her life. And I think that support, if we can get that from the men in our lives, the men around us, we will sow. We will sow.
So, how have been your experience working with males? If you have had any experience working with male entrepreneurs, have you getting that support? How that have actually helped you to move forward? How that interaction have been in
I
your
mean,
particular experience?
there is one male in particular I have to say that has been super supportive, and I mean you call his name all the time when you're having your these lives, and that is Stalin Shepherd. He has been absolutely amazing in the support and the encouragement that we have gotten from the mastermind community, and I have to big up mastermind community because it's such a big part of my journey as an entrepreneur. I remember when I had to do my first PowerPoint presentation, and he sat through the whole thing while I did my presentation. So having that male support, I mean, that is part of my journey and that encouragement. You can do it just sitting down, talking ideas, discussing strategies. Those things were very, very important for me, having that male support.
Awesome. And I endorse it. I met Stalin I mean, I have never actually met him physically. Our interaction was also through social media, through one of the things that I used to do, many, many years. I've been doing involving network marketing and other type of online businesses. I mean, branding developments, attraction marketing, social media marketing, and what's not. And I remember approaching him, and hence today we have this awesome relationship. And I mean, I'm really, I have to just like you acknowledge him, not
Yes,
always talk about him because I know. If someone is very supportive of female entrepreneurship, that is talent. So we
yes,
send greetings to him, and now we want to move now into the now. Nicole
no,
Pichery now. I know, Nicole, that you have an amazing organization. I believe it's two organizations actually. and that you also have this passion and this drive to work with females. And one thing that I always tell all the females, uh, and I say that in my interview, do not be afraid to step out and do something that somebody else is already doing. You know, God called you to do this, or else we only would have one store and one restaurant. You
True,
know,
true.
um, yes, simple like that. So I want you to tell us, Nicole, right now. Tell us a little bit about your organization, what you're doing, what is your role, how your organization is also impacting women entrepreneurs.
To see a wow. My organization is called Promises of a Future Foundation, Proof. Proof started actually when I lived in Kuwait. I started to volunteer with an organization that had women who were shut in um, and waiting to get back to their country. They couldn't go anywhere in the country. And I started to volunteer and I started teaching them sewing, which I started with. And I started also with Microsoft Word, teaching them Microsoft Word and touch typing. And I saw this passion for these women to learn. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to start an organization. I got the scripture from Jeremiah 29:11. I know the plans I have for you. God has a plan, He has a purpose for us. And He can be the proof, He is the proof that He has a plan and a purpose for us. So, hence the name Promises of a Future Foundation, because God promises a future full of hope. Right? So, that is where the name started. Having completed my first degree at 40, I wanted other women to have the opportunity to go back to school to pursue their educational and academic goals before they reach the age of 40. Before they reach the age of 40, because I found that getting it at 40 was, starting a bit late, right? So I said, okay. And hence I got two of my friends and they became directors and my son. And we started Proof when I came back here in Trinidad. And what we do, we support women financially to go back to school. So women who have left school in Form 4, either because of pregnancy, social issues, poverty, whatever it may be, who have a desire, who have the potential, who has the ability to go back to school, a passion to go back to school. We find them or they find us and we help support them through paying for registration fees, paying for classes, and giving them mentorship and encouragement month to month so that they will stick with it. Whether you fail every single time for 5, 6 years, we are there to support you and say, go back, do not give up. Right? We send them back. Yes. So we do that. We pay the registration fees, and that's what Proof does. Right? And we have different seminars and conferences that we put on. Of course, the pandemic came and it affected us where we had to step back. But I do believe in divine guidance, divine direction, divine inspiration. And I allow God to speak and guide the organization in the direction that He wants to go. So that's what Proof does. In terms of, and we celebrated 5 years in August this month, which I'm really proud of.
Congratulations.
Yes, I'm really proud of that. And then because NGOs, we need to be sustainable in this time. We need to be sustainable. Funds are drying up everywhere, especially now because of the pandemic, and we have to find a way to help our organizations to be sustainable and to achieve its vision. So I started an organization, a company called Elevate Personal Development Consultancy, and what that does is put on personal, and we're all about personal development. You know, Lucy, I told you that I am all about personal development, right? Becoming your best self, doing things to elevate yourself, to help yourself become better. And so I put personal first in front of professional because you have to
Yes.
develop yourself first, right, before you go into the professional world. And so we put on short courses, goal setting, communication, human resource management, customer service, supervising others. And 25% of the funds from Elevate that we make goes towards Proof. The company is focused on low income and minimum wage earners, right? Those people who work long hours. So you have classes in the night starting 8 o'clock and you have classes on Saturdays, right? So we facilitate those individuals who low income and minimum wage who wants to, get back, learn something, become more efficient and more effective in their workplace. And we also want to target those students from government secondary schools who are leaving, who have graduated and entering the world of work, we really want to, position them for success when they enter the organization. But anything that comes from Elevate, 25% goes towards proof to help sustain the organization.
Wow, Nicole, you and your organization are doing an awesome work. And this is one of the things that I was telling someone, and we was talking that backstage. You know what that vision that God give you, God is going to give you the audience and the niche to actually support that vision. So I want to encourage every single female entrepreneur. Don't be fearful to step out for what God called you. That talent is your talent. It could have somebody else that have the same talent, that be the same niche. But let me tell you, God is going to put in front of you the people that He wants you to help, the people that He wants you to touch. And I believe, Nicole, that this amazing work that your organization is doing, it's really touching. It's really touching and benefiting that niche, that audience that God have placed, uh, just to say it somehow, under your care.
Yes,
This is an audience that God have placed under your care, and stick to that vision. I believe that somehow, at some point, we just have to understand that it's whatever we create or build an organization, a foundation, or whatever, we just serving the purpose
that's right.
that God wants us to serve.
That's right.
So, I mean, we have to put fear aside. And I always tell people that although I have my interview and I intend to go deeper in my story, because I think that every little pieces of testimonies could actually help someone to dust, get up from the benches and go out there and make things happen. So I want to right now give the audience the opportunity to ask Nicole. I think I have asked Nicole a lot of questions, and let me tell you, we have nothing planned. And Nicole said, well, why are you going to ask me? I said, Nicole, as God leaders, we are going to, we just want to um, for those who don't know Nicole, to know Nicole, know what she's doing, how she overcome her challenges, because people only could see the semi-final product. And I always see the semi-final product because we have so much to give. So Nicole, I want to ask you this, and I want to ask the audience, please share this interview, because Nicole have shared so much and from her heart. I mean, it is amazing. It is amazing, the responsibility that God have already placed in your hands. So, Nicole, I know your passion is women and what's not, but there is anything within Nicole, the entrepreneur, that you right now would have loved to still expand and touch on or develop that you have not done as yet? Tell us
Yeah.
about that.
So of course, there are so many things that I want to do. My one of the biggest things that I would like to do is to reach individuals who have all those ideas in their head about business. They have a million ideas, and to help them just zoom in on that idea that will, they could really build and grow into a successful business. So that is a huge desire of mine, right? And I have been working with one or two entrepreneurs who have that, million ideas, helping them. I think I learned that I'm a structure thinker when it comes to these things. So you talk to me and I start seeing structure when it comes to ideas. And I can help you break down your ideas, do mind mapping, find out what the products and services are, and really zoom in to the heart of a business. I love doing that kind of work. And the more people that I am exposed to help them in that way, that I would love to do that. Also, with Elevate, I want to get my courses digital. I want to get my course. So you could access it on WhatsApp. You could access it, on my site. You could go in and learn at your own pace, like a Udemy or
That is a trend. That is a
yes,
trend.
yes, yes. Right. So that is what my desire is for Elevate. I really, and to grow it into that soft skills training institute, premium in the Caribbean, hopefully internationally. So I have a big dream.
Just speak it. Just speak it into existence, and it's going to definitely happen. So, if you are in the audience right now, I am seeing that you are there. Some of you haven't said where are you tuning from. Let us know. Let Nicole know where are you tuning from. Let Nicole know that you are here to support her. Say hi, say good evening, say good night. If you have any questions at all to ask Nicole, I mean, I have asked so many questions to Nicole, and Nicole told me she was an introvert, but I am not seeing nothing of an introvert tonight in this awesome interview, and you know, and this is what this is about: creating communities within communities, because each organization by itself is a community, and
Yes,
all the organizations together are a bigger community. By extension, every single female entrepreneur with their potential. But imagine if we serve as catalysts, if we synergize that energy of entrepreneurship, what is going to happen? I always say the world would get better when women take
that's right.
charge,
That's
right?
right.
So,
That's right.
Nicole, what advice you have right now for young upcoming entrepreneurs?
I love
What
that.
is your
I love it.
advice for young upcoming entrepreneurs?
When I started my entrepreneurship journey, I one of the things that I wanted to do is to get into the schools and help them to, tap into the gifts of the young people in the schools from primary school, because I was seeing that as a resource for our nation, not just academics, which is important, and I mean nobody can tell you more how much I love academics, right? But I also wanted to find out the gifts that our young people doing, and I'm quite pleased sometimes to see it happening now. I think somewhere I saw, I think it was last night on the news, that it was starting to look at the young entrepreneurs. I'm seeing young primary school students who are now tapping into their gifts and their talents and bringing that to the forefront. I would encourage young people, and I would encourage parents, find out what the gifts and the talents of the kids are, the primary school students, and encourage them in that. Encourage, whether it's cooking, it's sewing, right? I saw on the news, I think TV6, they promote or they present young people who are doing things and growing little businesses. I love that. Continue that. Continue to encourage them and have a, like how we have the fair, Southex, we have these different things. Bring them and let them showcase their skills to encourage them to grow their small businesses.
Awesome. So, young upcoming entrepreneurs, I mean, you get awesome advice from Miss Nicole Pichery. I want to really thank you. I want to thank God that actually connect us through Stanley. I mean, he told me I have a gym for you, but wow, yes, he really sent a gem for us tonight. Um, Nicole, we basically running out of time, but I have so much still to ask you. And for females that actually putting together their organizations. Let us move a little further to the females who are ready into entrepreneurship and actually trying to get to this level that you are now, maybe the levels of other entrepreneurs, and they're stuck.
Yes.
What is the best advice that you could give them to actually help them to move forward to the next level, to come out from that stagnation place?
That is a very tough piece of advice. When you get stuck, sometimes you can become very depressed, very negative, right? I would say join a community. Join a community. You would get the encouragement that you need. The energy that you get from a community, a business community, really activates you again. The ideas start to flow. You start communicating with other business owners who are growing their businesses. You will hear about the struggles, but you will also hear about the successes. I remember one of our Candice shared a story with me, and she's always here listening as well, Candice Alexander, when she's shared her challenges, and I won't share now, but it encouraged me to get up and continue moving, right? To continue growing. COVID has stopped us for 2 years. For Elevate, we did nothing for the 2 years. And last year, November, I said, you know what, Nicole? It's time to start. So you have to talk to yourself. Join a community. Join a community. And for women who have business ideas and they don't know where to start, I say, think about a need that you want to address. Think about that need. What need? I remember Tara Trench, which is one of my mentors. Address a need. She also address a need. Start small. Start with baby steps. Nothing wrong with starting small, right? Sometimes you go too big and it fails and you give up. So start small. If you have skills, use what you have. Start with where you are. Start with what you know, what you can do well. Start with that, I would say, right? Don't just sit there on your gifts. Just don't sit. Even if it's with one person, Lucia, if it's just one person, Mother Teresa started writing in the sand with one student, if it's just one person, and you see where her organization, how it has grown globally through the years. Work with your strengths. John C. Maxwell say, work with your strengths. Yes, we have weaknesses, but how far you could go with you working on your weaknesses. But when you work on your strengths, you could really become a powerhouse. So keep building and growing on your strengths. And these are people that I tap into. Read, read. Change your mindset. We do a lot of mindset training at Mastermind. Change your mindset. Think about your thinking. Be more mindful. All those negative thoughts, the imposter syndrome, the limiting beliefs. Try to get over and get past those things, and so that you create positive energy around you, and you surround yourself with people who have a business head, who have business ideas, and who grow in their business. Connect with those mentors and give back to others. Give back to others. Sometimes just picking up and volunteering makes a big difference.
That's how
Just
you started.
volunteering. Yeah, just volunteering. And I would encourage anyone, volunteer. Find an organization that you like and start volunteering with them. And the ideas will come again. The ideas will flow. You would be surprised.
Yes, you will be really, really surprised because I'm really surprised tonight. Nicole, I have to tell this to the audience. Nicole told me she was an introvert. I could never believe that. Nicole told me she was kind of, nervous to be in the front. But Nicole, you have so much to give, you know. Um, and I'm so glad I have to say it over and over and over because I really actually feeling it. I am feeling that connection. I am feeling that vibration. And people in the audience, I Miss Bola Hopol and others have said it in the comments. The energy is positive. And this is what we want. You won't believe how people, after the broadcast, people who have been live, they sending me the messages, they actually, the nuggets. And this is the environment that we want to create for our female entrepreneurs. Hence, She Can Campaign. We designed that for our female community. And I will say this, there is an entrepreneur inside of each one of us.
Correct.
It's just fear, that fear of get out there.
Yes. Yes. Once you could get
That
over that fear, once you can get over that fear, and
that
it will come and go. And
imposter
Lucia, it
syndrome.
doesn't entirely leave you. It never entirely leaves you. But you have to use it as a stepping stone. You have to use it to motivate. Frightened or not, keep moving forward. Frightened or not. and take it in baby steps. What you can handle, you deal with that, and you would be surprised to see how you will grow. Your confidence will grow, and you could keep moving forward. And you will keep moving forward. Just keep putting one step, one foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other, and you will keep moving forward. And you would be surprised. You want to get to point B from point A. You're not sure how you're going to get there, but if you stay at point A, you will never reach the point
Which
B.
point B? Awesome. So, Nicole, I really thank you so much. I want to tell you, if you are a female entrepreneur, just get in touch with us. We are here for you. We also want to hear from you, right? So we have posted the link. Fill out that link. You will get information from what women is doing. We have awesome upcoming events coming up after the campaign. And we have talked so much about branding, and we have actually starting on the 7th of September, um, positioning yourself, your business for success. This is a branding and digital marketing workshop that we are going to um, start in the 7th of September. Look out for the flyer. It's in all our social media. Remember, you could tune in into Instagram. You could follow us on Instagram, right? And look at women underscore network. You could also like us and follow all our posts in right here in Facebook, Women's Network International, and give us your feedback. What do you want us to bring to the table? I always say that we are very open to work with female organizations. This is what it's about, to create that huge community. Together, everyone achieve more. So although we have our independent purposes, together, everyone achieve more. So Nicole, again, thank you so much. And for sure, I am going to look at this replay because I have a lot notes to take. I have learned also so much. You have really inspired me. You have spoken to me also, because you know what? We are here in the front inspiring you, but we also need that feedback, that encouragement. So leave us your comments. You want to connect with Nicole? Find Nicole in the social media is proof, right? You could find her on Instagram. You could find her also on Facebook and connect. This is about connection. This is what women, one of the objectives of women, bring about those connection. We bring about those connection. This was our Chican campaign. Let's Talk Entrepreneurship segment. My name is Lucia Rayos, co-founder and CEO of Women on Media and Education Network. Thank you so much, Nicole. Thank you to the live audience. Share this live and look at the replay, because I know you have a lot nuggets to pick back. So be blessed, and remember, we will be here again on Thursday. We will be here again on Thursday. Yes, Nila Brown, I agree with you. I haven't worked with Nicole as yet, but I believe that she's an awesome mentor and coach. So I really, really
Uh,
bless you guys. Have a blessed night, and I will see you on Thursday for another episode of Chican campaign. Let's talk entrepreneurship. You'll have a blessed night.
Good
Bye bye.
night, everyone. Thank you, Lucia. Good night.